Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for support if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye.
Because the people that are joining us here in the studio, you've never seen their faces, you've never heard their voices, and neither have we until today. I'm of course talking about Shiba Kusama and Carl Daria, the perhaps leaders of Shiba Inu. We'll be diving into that in a minute. Both of you, thank you for joining me here today. You will notice, all listeners, that we have modulated their voices in order to keep their identities completely secret, and they are masked throughout as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Shaitoshi, or Shai as I think you also go by, I've got to shoot my first question to you here. Why have you decided now to speak publicly?
I believe that we, as a planet, are at a turning point where we must move in a proper direction towards decentralization and towards a new world. And when the time is right, we must speak out and ensure that everyone understands our vision.
Carl, similar question to you as well. Nobody's ever heard your voice. Why have you decided now to speak publicly?
It is important, like Shai mentioned, we are at a very pivotal moment of history. Tides are changing at a macro level, as you can see in many places. People are really need a change in this world. And we believe we can bring a true change. We as in Shiba Army can bring a true change with decentralization into this world. And that is the reason why we are going public and we are talking to everyone, just making sure that our vision is clear with everyone.
Carl, you used the word there, vision. Commonly used as to what the future is going to hold. I'd love to know what your vision is. Shai, what's the vision for SHIB?
SHIB's vision was laid out at the very onset, as it is a decentralized experiment. And the founder of SHIB, an anonymous individual by the name of Ryoshi, set out a very specific plan. And we are simply here to complete the plan, and in doing so, create a brand and decentralized entity that can survive, ideally, many centuries.
Carl, similar question for you. This idea of vision, what is your vision? Are you just the executors of Ryoshi's plan?
That is correct. So we are normal community members. We started off by buying tokens of the exchanges like everyone else. And we just took the experiment and the vision that was laid out by Ryoshi to its completion. And I think the vision is decentralization at its core, but at the same time, bringing all the Web2 entities and companies into Web3 and showing them the true power of blockchain and what it can do for businesses and countries at country level as well.
Let's talk about this subject of decentralization. In your recent Arabian business cover story, you said, quote, Shai, "At the end of this year, we will hand everything over to the community and we step away." Why are you stepping away from something that you've worked so hard to build?
It's important to note that our stepping away is not to leave the community alone, but instead to empower the community even more than they already have as in fact, one of the greatest decentralized communities in the world. We will continue to work on certain projects where our input is necessary, but only in those particular locations or places where we continue to work, we will ensure that the community continues fully empowered to decide the future of SHIB, and that is what is most important.
Carl, you mentioned the mask there. For anyone who's been online over the last few weeks, these masks have become pretty famous during a trip, which one could only assume was you guys, in India. I want to talk a little bit about this idea of anonymity. You say you're not leaders, but you're clearly very well-known public figures, albeit nobody knows what you look like. What's it like being anonymous like that, where you can enter into a room and nobody knows who you are?
Firstly, I would like to say that I feel very blessed to be that kind of a public figure, and I thank Shiba Army for that. Just to add to that, like I mentioned before, that we are not important, like especially I'm not important. We with the mask on, that's the reason why we wear the mask. We being anonymous is what we consider to be a superpower for us. That is the way that we can blend in with the community and get their input when we need to. And we can just get the true, honest feedback when we need to.
Shai, similar question to you here. What's it like entering a room filled with the Shiba Army and they don't know that you're Shaitoshi?
I rarely enter rooms with the SHIB Army for a variety of reasons. I prefer to stay away and ensure that Ryoshi's vision is completed. I'm rather shy in that regard, to be honest with you. It's very easy because I believe that even without the mask, I tend to stand out as someone who may be important or looks different than everyone else. Maybe it's all the tattoos, I don't know. But either way, it's important to have the ability to remain anonymous when necessary, as it allows for no brand to be associated with a face, which in many cases can be a detriment. You will see this as companies try to rebrand away from someone like Apple and Steve Jobs being grossly associated with him and his genius. We do not want to be associated with the genius of SHIB. The genius of SHIB is the power of the community.
Can I ask you another question related? Will you ever publicly reveal your face?
It's not a goal that I have, kind sir. In fact, I believe, as Ryoshi would always say, I'm nothing special. I'm no one special. I'm definitely not a looker by any means. So there's no need for my face to become a public figure. Let the mask remain famous, as you quoted there, and hundreds of millions of views would agree with you. But the power of SHIB is not because of me or because of Kyle. It is because of the community. And that is what is most important, the technology to take Web 2 to Web 3 and the brand of a very special dog breed that has gone viral many times as a meme.
All right, look, we should talk a little bit about the memes here as well. Obviously, that's a central part of the conversation. The vast majority of the world aren't currently using either cryptocurrency or blockchain, the technology that underpins cryptocurrency. Some reports say less than 5%. Carl, turning to you first here, what role do you see memes playing in increasing the adoption of cryptocurrency and blockchain?
I truly believe that memes can change the world. Like something simple of an idea or a joke or a brand itself can rally people together, and it can truly impact the world in a positive way if the meme has a purpose.
Shai, what about you? What do you think? Memes, obviously you must be a big fan of that very special dog breed yourself. What role do you think memes will play in terms of driving increasing adoption of cryptocurrency and blockchain and this Web 3.0 movement?
I personally don't know about other memes. I only know about the one that my heart is dedicated to, and that's Shiba Inu. And I know that our meme has the capability to change the world and to prove to the world that you can be decentralized, that you can build technology that is enterprising, futuristic, etc., and do so in a way that allows companies to align with your brand, with your meme, quote unquote, in a way that is cute and fun and still drive engagement, reduce fraud, and at the same time create new revenue streams for these different companies or countries or businesses across the world. That is the power of our meme, and I'm so excited to see the variety of Shiba Inu themed products and services and businesses all across the world, many of which even Kyle and I are not aware of, and we find out when we go to different places and find out that there's Shib this or Shib that. That is the power of community and the power of our decentralized.
Look, Shai, you mentioned there that you're always excited to see the community building new products, new parts of the decentralized community coming together. We're talking to you at a time right now where news is emerging about a potential Shiba ETF. What's it like watching that grow?
The SHIB ETF is a powerful movement started by the community, totally outside of our input and completely above my pay grade. I believe that is a great example of what is possible when the community comes together for a common goal, and we stand with the community in hopes that an ETF will be granted for SHIB.
Carl, look, similar question to you here as well. What's it like watching a community of which you say you're not a leader of, but many might consider you a public figure in, building products which you yourself haven't had any input on?
Yes, definitely. We are not the leaders. We are just the community members taking this forward. And I think it's very exciting to see the community build different technologies in this sector.
Okay, you mentioned earlier, Shai, this idea about building a decentralized community that could last as long as many centuries. With something like that in mind, you must be looking extremely far into the future. And in your Arabian Business interview, I remember you referring to this idea of digital states of statehood. How do you see that playing in this future long-term vision for the Shiba Inu ecosystem?
It's important to note that when you have a community as large as ours that allows for anyone to be a part and to take the Shiba Inu brand and make it their own and move forward with the same ethos, you need a structure in place to ensure that everyone is aligned. And the SHIB paper and the previous Wolf paper designed specifically to ensure that everyone understands how we can work together. And ironically, because of our unique structure, we are closest to a digital state. Of course, we're just a meme. However, the idea that the same type of framework can ensure our longevity and completion is why we have one.
Carl, we're talking here about digital statehood of what is also a meme of a very cute dog breed. Do you see that as the future for Web3 in general, this sort of irrelevance combined with technology?
Yes, definitely. So I think like Shai mentioned, we are a warm and fuzzy brand, especially, and the technology stack is pretty much an operating system for anyone to just build upon their own community and go ahead from there. And that is what we are trying to do.
Shai, let's turn to you here. Last couple of questions that we have time for. Your day-to-day life, being somebody who, again, may be considered a leader, you yourself don't claim to be one. What does it look like being day-to-day, running at the forefront of trying to build an ecosystem like Shiba Inu?
On a day-to-day basis, the focus is on a larger vision and ensuring that the community has all the tools necessary to take that vision and our brand forward with many Web 2 and Web3 partners. In that way, I am a community member that is focused on a very small set of projects in a much larger system. And I am so grateful for the, I guess you could say, input and backing and work of the entire decentralized SHIB army that manages so many parts that we never get a chance to touch or to even see. And so we thank them because it allows us to focus on a very small subset of a much larger system.
You say you've worked on a few projects there yourself. Any that stand out to you as your particular favorites, memorable that you've worked on?
Sure. Actually, one of my best achievements is the Shiba Eternity game with over 1,000 page lore that I wrote. And actually, it was one of the final pieces or one of the final documents before AI. So there you can find a few typos and things like that. And after it was released, I was requested that it be edited by AI. And I actually asked that it did not. And I wanted to keep it that way to prove that humans can actually write things, because it's probably one of the last items that will have no AI touch, although the pictures they're in were AI driven. We're really excited about that as it moves to blockchain. This year is one of the many things that are coming down our pipeline. And it was one that I personally had a touch point on, and I'm really excited about it.
Carl, I want to ask you the same question as well. Particular projects that you've worked on in the ecosystem that you're proud of or that stick out to you from memory?
To be honest, like ever since I've been part of the Shiba ecosystem community, every day has been the best day of my life. I want to thank the Shiba Army for that. And each and everything that we've done has been the best achievements as part of a community that we've achieved.
Just before we move on to final messages, I want to talk a little bit less about the SHIB army and a little bit less about everyone else listening and just about you guys here. You two must obviously know each other very well, so a couple of quick fire questions for the two of you here. Shai, maybe we'll turn the first one to you here. Which one of you two would you consider to be the joker of the pair?
Honestly, it really depends on the day. Kyle is my balance. So at times I'm the jokester, at times he's the jokester, and we find a balance at all times. It's why we work so well together. It's why I call him my brother, and he is my brother at heart and at soul. And I am very grateful to have him as a partner in life almost.
And Carl, look, similar question to you. What's it like working with Shai?
I always tell him that if you were a girl, I would marry you. So you can like figure by that how much I love him, obviously. And I think like in terms of being a jokester, I think like you mentioned, like it's that day we try to pull each other's leg a lot. And, you know, like we get it, like when we have inside jokes and all, we get it. Yeah.
The two of you must be traveling around doing some amazing things and nobody ever knows what you look like. Do you two take enjoyment out of that as well?
It's a challenge looking different than everyone else. Maybe it's all the tattoos. But when I, fly and do things, people always look at you and think and judge you based on your past instead of judging you on your present. So it's exciting for us to blend in as much as we can, but there's only so much blending you can do.
Same thing for me. I think it's a superpower to just walk around as a normal person, and just the excitement of being part of the community and just watching people walk by with a SHIB shirt sometimes on and just approaching them and talking to them is truly blissful.
Okay, look, we're now coming to the part of the show where I would normally thank you both for your time and thank you for joining us here today. However, given that this is the first time ever that either of you have publicly spoken out, I think it's only fair that you both get the last word. So, Carl, turning to you first, what would be the last message that you would like to give to the SHIB Army and to all our listeners out there?
Thank you, SHIB Army. I love you.
Keeping it short and sweet. Let's see. Shai, do you have anything longer to give us? What's your message?
LFG. Thank you, SHIB Army. seriously, we wouldn't be here without you. And we look forward to many more years being a part of the SHIB Army and watching our baby grow into something much more powerful that no one expected.
And keep the memes coming.
That's right. Keep the memes coming.
Possibly most importantly. Well,